All right, what's going on, guys? Chris here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about what's in my camera bag for the end of 2023. A lot has changed from my previous video, so I'm very excited to show you what is new. Starting off with the bag itself. This is a completely different bag. I used to use the Douchebags Backpack Pro. It's a great everyday bag if I'm in a city or something like that, but it is limited in terms of travel when you want to bring clothes or shoes or socks or everything else you may need for a weekend or week trip somewhere else. And also the great thing, although it is massive, you can take it on the cheap, the budget flights with Ryanair and all that, where you're allowed one personal item. So let's get right into the bag. First thing, least exciting, front pocket here where you would keep passports, wallets, and stuff like that. I like it, but the only problem for me is that because the backpack is so thick, I can't really tell if it's being opened or closed. Let's say I'm in a public place like a train station or something like that. Because it doesn't lock, I kind of worry about leaving valuable things in here, but besides that, it works pretty well. I fit like passports and what else do I have in here? Wallet, stuff like that. As I said, I do need to be careful when using this pocket because you know, it can be opened. The next compartment is the new addition, or the compartment that actually got me interested in this bag, which is the clothing department, which is one that opens up here on the front, and shouldn't be anything inside here. But yeah, it's an area where you can just lie underwear, t-shirts, pants, anything you may need to for a trip. And the best part is you can actually make it even bigger to store a lot more things. The backpack does get huge, but it's great if you're bringing a bunch of clothes and all that. And if you're not bringing clothes, you can use the space for a gimbal or a tripod or whatever you may need it for. It's just extra space. All right, so moving on to then the back of the backpack. Over here, we have a computer sleeve. Here is where I would put my 2020 M1 MacBook Pro, the 13-inch one. I haven't upgraded because I haven't had a need to. Still works perfectly well with the content I make and my full-time job as a video editor, so I still use that one. Might upgrade in a bit, but for now it works perfectly well. And it fits very easily in this massive sleeve that can definitely fit a 17 or 16-inch MacBook Pro. And then the main and most exciting area of the bag, which opens from the back like so. The main compartment here. Now starting over here on the least interesting side, here you have some pockets where I keep some small things like GoPro 11 Mini. This is the one I use for all my FPV shots. I use the 11 Mini because it's smaller than a full-size GoPro. The one problem, the one annoying part is the fact that it doesn't have a screen, which does keep it smaller, yes, but sometimes it's hard to judge exposure when I'm trying to put ND filters, because for FPV you want to have that nice amount of motion blur, and you won't have it unless you have the perfect exposure. So yeah, that's that. So in addition to this one, I also keep a GoPro Hero 9. Now the reason I do is literally I use it as an exposure meter. I just match the settings of the two cameras, and then I pull this one out, turn it on, look at the screen to judge the exposure. I look at the screen to judge the exposure, and then I can just put the proper ND filter on and go out shooting. And this is only in the extreme case where the app doesn't work, the GoPro app, because sometimes it's a little buggy. Also in this pocket, I keep a spare RF lens caps, and inside I have spare cards, so CF Express Type B and SD cards for the two camera bodies that we'll be talking about later. I don't know why that was so hard to open, but we're just gonna keep that in there. Another exciting piece of tech in here that I really like to travel with now, only done it once, but is this power bank brick thingy that you plug into the wall, obviously, but it has 3 very fast USB-C ports and a fast USB-A port. And these 4 ports can charge everything in the bag, so I only need to bring one. And it can also charge my phone and computer and all that. It's 100 watts, so a lot of power. Now moving to the main compartment here, let's start with the A camera, which is what I'm shooting on right now, which is the Canon R5 with the 15-35 f2.8 RF lens and the Sennheiser MKE 400 shotgun microphone on top. So that's what you're hearing right now. That's what you're seeing. So obviously I can't put it in the bag. I love the R5, made tons of videos on it. I'm gonna be making a video about the 15-35 soon, and I'm very excited about all that. And I'm also very excited to talk about the new microphone in a coming video. All right, next up, the other lens that I'm starting to use is the RF 24-70. This is a beast of a lens, extremely sharp, extremely fast autofocus, and it is my complete commitment to the full RF system. So now I don't have to adapt any of my lenses to the camera. I took this lens to Cinque Terre and it was beautiful, amazing results, and I really like it. I'm definitely gonna be making a video about this one as well. And I'm gonna be making a video on it very soon. And for the most part, if I'm not vlogging, this will stay on the camera 90% of the time because the range from 24-70 is great. All right, so off to the next camera I have in the bag, and this is a new one, and it's the Canon R5. Now, the reason I take this out is if I want a BTS shot of whatever I'm shooting and I don't want to use my phone, which includes photos and videos. So if I want like a cool thumbnail or a picture of me doing something with my camera, that's why I bring this one. And also just to have a B camera in case something happens to the R5, which I don't expect it to, but it's good to have a backup that has a very good image. I just made a video about this one, so if you want to check it out, I'll have a link in the description. And it's a neat little camera. It's smaller, takes a smaller battery, and it takes SD cards. So it's just a smaller, lighter setup that uses the RF lenses and is convenient to just toss in the bag. That missed. There we go. First drone I'm going to talk about is one that I've had for a bit, and that is the Mini 3 Pro from DJI. I saw the Mini 4 Pro came out, and I think the only real difference is the fact that it has full 360-degree obstacle avoidance, but I don't really need that as I don't really fly near things with this. And recently I've only been using this for photography because I prefer the video of my other drone, but either way, it shoots a beautiful 4K image and beautiful 48 megapixel photos that are just remarkable. I really like the image quality. The sound is very quiet. It's a very quiet drone, so if you're flying in areas with people, no one really notices once you've passed 30 meters or so, and it's great. Lightweight. It's under 250 grams, so you can fly it without as much regulation, so that's also convenient. Battery life is great, 30 minutes or so, and you know, it's just a good lightweight drone that I think everyone should have if they want to get drone shots. And also, little bonus feature, it does flip to vertical mode if you're trying to get vertical photos or videos for Instagram Reels, TikToks, whatever it may be. So yeah, this guy always comes with me. In addition to the drone, obviously you have the batteries. So I have the Fly More combo charging battery case system, which works great also as a portable charger if you're on a shoot, because it does have a USB-A out to charge another device, so that's cool. And in addition to that, you have the RC, DJI RC, and I love this remote because you don't need to connect your phone to it or anything like that. It just has a beautiful screen here, and you just don't have to worry about, you know, your phone's battery life or getting the right connection. It connects very fast, fluid, and it's just great. Off to the next drone, which is now my favorite drone, is the DJI Avata. This is an FPV drone, which means you have full manual control of how it flies and how fast and where and whatever. And I just really like the images you get out of this style of flying. So now for video, if I'm shooting video in the air, it's probably going to be FPV over traditional drone shots, which I think are a little bit boring. And yeah, so I have the DJI Avata with 5 batteries. Battery life is great. It's about 10 minutes or so of flight, which is great for FPV. Traditional FPV drones, it's closer to 4 to 6 minutes. And having the smart features of a DJI drone in this FPV drone is great. So return to home, GPS, all the cool things that allow you to have a safer flight. It's just fantastic. And I pair it obviously with the DJI goggles 2, and these are great, lightweight, high quality connection, so you see very clearly what you're filming. And then obviously I have with it the remote controller, so I keep that up in this big bin here, and I might protect it by wrapping some underwear around it or something like that. Then you just have the miscellaneous items that you may need, like ND filters. These are GoPro ND filters that I use almost all the time because the GoPro settings you need to get the correct motion blur is very bright, so when you're outside it's just not going to work. And then spare batteries. I keep about 4 spare batteries for the R5. Rarely get through even 2 in a day because the battery life is great, but you never know if you have multi-day shoots and you just want to have batteries. And then besides that, there's going to be the general stuff you'll bring, like chargers for everything. Like I said, I have the power brick that can charge everything, so cables, charger for my phone, you know, AirPods and things like that. But that is pretty much it. That's the stuff that I keep in my camera bag. It does get quite heavy, and when you're walking around, I've gotten kind of used to it, but it does get, you know, heavy walking around the whole day with it. But to me, a tired back is worth it when you can get the variety of shots you can get with such a setup with all this kind of gear. As you notice, I don't have my gimbal in here. I have the RS3 Mini, but I don't know, I never use it, mainly because the IBIS in the R5 is so good, and for the shots I get, I don't really have really long one takes. So for me, a gimbal hasn't been used in a very long time, almost a year. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was informative to you. If you want to pick up any of the things I talked about, everything linked in the description. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.